deadly beings, that's what humans are. And the Greyless learned this truth the hard way. It was a quiet night when the Greyless first attacked, their ships descending from the stars like silent predators. The humans below had no warning, no time to prepare. Their ships landed amidst a small human settlement, and with cold efficiency, they began their assault. Buildings crumbled under the onslaught of their advanced weaponry. Fires erupted, casting an eerie glow on the devastation. The Greyless believed they faced nothing more than a primitive species, unprepared for the horrors descending upon them. But the Greyless were wrong. Deadly wrong. From the shadows, a figure emerged. A lone human scout, moving with the stealth and precision of a predator. Equipped with a monomolecular sword and active camouflage, the scout was a ghost in the night. This was no ordinary human, this was a warrior born from a culture that had evolved through countless conflicts and wars. This scout was a testament to humanity's resilience and deadly capabilities. Lightly armed and outnumbered, the scout demonstrated the incredible combat abilities that had become part of human nature. The Greyless commander, confident in their superiority, now faced a foe unlike any they had ever encountered. With a swift, decisive blow, the scout ended the battle. The Greyless commander fell, and the night, once filled with the sounds of destruction, was silent once more. This was just the beginning of a story that would reshape the fate of two species. The Greyless had always prided themselves on their military prowess. Known throughout the galaxy as an aggressive and uncompromising species, they had expanded their territory through sheer force. On that fateful night, they expected an easy victory, just another routine conquest. Instead, they met their match in a single human scout. In the midst of this chaos, the Greyless remained confident. They had faced many species before, and none had withstood their might. They moved methodically, their armored figures advancing through the settlement, leaving destruction in their wake. But then, something changed. Shadows began to move in ways that shadows should not. Out of the darkness, a figure materialized. The human scout, clad in stealth gear that rendered them nearly invisible, moved with lethal grace. This was no ordinary foe. One of the Greyless soldiers fell, their armor pierced by an impossibly sharp blade. Then another, and another. Panic rippled through the ranks of the Greyless as they realized they were under attack. Their enemy was swift, almost unseen, and deadly accurate. The scout moved like a phantom, exploiting every bit of cover, every shadow. Their monomolecular sword, a blade so fine it could slice through nearly anything, was a blur of lethal precision. The Greyless, with all their advanced technology, were no match for this human's combat prowess. Desperation set in as the Greyless commander ordered his troops to regroup and retaliate. But it was too late. The scout was already among them, a whirlwind of death and destruction. One by one, the Greyless soldiers fell, their attempts to fight back futile. In the heart of the chaos, the scout confronted the Greyless commander. For a moment, the two adversaries locked eyes. The commander, a seasoned warrior, saw in the scout something he had never encountered before, a blend of cold precision and fierce determination. It was the look of a predator. The battle between them was swift and brutal. The commander, wielding a plasma blade, struck first, but the scout anticipated the move, sidestepping with inhuman speed. With a fluid motion, the scout's monomolecular sword sliced through the commander's armor, ending the fight in a single, decisive blow. The night fell silent once more. The fires still burned, and the ruins of the settlement stood as grim reminders of the attack. But the Greyless had been repelled. By a single human. The scout vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a battlefield littered with the fallen. The Greyless had learned a harsh lesson that night: humanity was not to be underestimated. The dawn of the next day revealed a grim scene. Smoke still rose from the smoldering ruins, casting a haze over the devastated settlement. The Greyless, now acutely aware of the human threat, regrouped and prepared for another assault. Little did they know, the lone scout's actions were just the beginning of humanity's formidable defense. As the sun climbed higher, the scout moved through the ruins with calculated purpose. Each step was deliberate, each action a piece of a larger strategy. The scout's primary objective was to buy time for the settlement's inhabitants to evacuate and for human reinforcements to arrive. In the heart of the settlement, the scout encountered a group of survivors. With a calm, reassuring tone, the scout organized them, assigning tasks and creating makeshift defenses. The people, though shaken, responded with a resilience born of necessity. They had no choice but to trust this mysterious protector. The Grayless, determined to avenge their fallen commander, launched their second wave of attacks. Their ships darkened the sky as they descended, and the ground shook with the force of their landing. This time, they were prepared for resistance. But so was the scout. Using advanced camouflage and the element of surprise, the scout orchestrated a series of hit-and-run tactics that kept the Grayless off balance. Quick strikes from the shadows, precision shots that disabled key targets, and traps set in the rubble, all these turned the battlefield into a deadly game of cat and mouse. The scout's monomolecular sword became a symbol of fear among the Grayless soldiers. It seemed to appear from nowhere, cutting through their ranks with lethal efficiency. The Grayless, despite their technological superiority, found themselves struggling against an enemy that was always one step ahead. As the battle raged, the human reinforcements arrived. Elite soldiers, trained for such encounters, joined the fray. Equipped with exoskeletons that enhanced their strength and speed, and armed with the latest in human weaponry, they quickly turned the tide. The Grayless, now facing a united and well-coordinated human force, began to falter. Their initial confidence eroded, replaced by a growing sense of dread. They had underestimated humanity, and now they were paying the price. In a final, desperate push, the Grayless attempted to breach the human defenses. But the scout, leading a squad of elite soldiers, launched a counterattack that shattered their ranks. The battlefield, once a scene of Grayless dominance, now bore witness to their defeat. The sun set on a victory for the humans. The Grayless, battered and broken, retreated, leaving behind their dead and their pride. The scout, standing amidst the ruins, looked towards the horizon. This was just one battle in a much larger war, but it was a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. With the Grayless in full retreat, the human settlement stood as a testament to resilience and tactical brilliance. The scout, now hailed as a hero, became a symbol of hope and strength for the settlers. But the battle was not just about survival, it was a demonstration of humanity's evolved combat superiority, a fact that the Grayless would not soon forget. The scout's prowess on the battlefield was not an anomaly. It was the result of millions of years of evolution and cultural development. Humans had always been predators, their senses and reflexes honed through countless generations of survival in harsh environments. This inherent advantage was amplified by rigorous training and advanced technology. Equipped with a monomolecular sword, the scout's weapon was a marvel of human engineering. The blade was so fine it could cut through nearly anything with ease, a perfect tool for close-quarters combat. Combined with active camouflage, which rendered the scout nearly invisible, it made for a deadly combination. But it wasn't just about the equipment. The scout's tactical genius was evident in every move. Understanding the terrain, predicting enemy movements, and exploiting every weakness, these were skills that set human warriors apart. The scout's ability to remain calm under pressure, to think several steps ahead, and to act with precision and decisiveness were key factors in the successful defense of the settlement. Reinforcements, comprising elite soldiers from various human colonies, demonstrated similar prowess. These soldiers were equipped with exoskeletons that enhanced their physical capabilities, allowing them to move faster, hit harder, and endure longer. Their training was intense, focusing not just on physical strength, but on strategy, adaptability, and teamwork. The Grayless, accustomed to relying on their superior technology, were unprepared for the sheer determination and adaptability of the human forces. Every time they adapted their tactics, the humans countered with something new, something unexpected. It was a dance of death, and the humans were leading. As the battle raged on, stories of individual heroism and ingenuity emerged. A soldier disabling a Grayless mech suit with a well-placed EMP grenade, a medic setting up a field hospital in the midst of chaos, saving lives with limited resources, a squad leader rallying their troops with a rousing speech, turning the tide in a critical moment. These were the stories that would become legends. The humans were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for each other, for their homes, and for their future. This unity, this shared purpose, was something the Grayless had underestimated. They were a species driven by conquest and domination, while humans, though capable of great violence, were also driven by love, loyalty, and a desire to protect their own. In the aftermath of the battle, the humans began to rebuild. The settlement, though scarred by the conflict, stood as a symbol of their resilience. The scout, along with the elite soldiers, was celebrated as heroes. But they knew that this was just the beginning. The Grayless would return, and when they did, humanity would be ready. As the dust settled and the rebuilding began, the humans took a moment to reflect on the events that had transpired. The scout, now a central figure in their narrative, shared insights that went beyond the battlefield. The Grayless had underestimated humanity, not just because of their combat skills, but because they failed to understand the cultural and evolutionary journey that had shaped them. Humans are a fascinating species. Their evolution is marked by a series of adaptations that have made them formidable predators. From the development of opposable thumbs to the advanced neural networks in their brains, every aspect of human biology has been fine-tuned for survival and conquest. This is not mere chance, it is the result of countless generations facing and overcoming challenges. The scout explained how humans evolved as social creatures, forming tight-knit communities that work together to survive. This social structure fostered a sense of loyalty and teamwork that proved crucial in times of conflict. Unlike the Grayless, who operated under a strict hierarchical system, humans thrived on their ability to adapt and cooperate. One of the most significant aspects of human evolution is their capacity for innovation. The Scout's monomolecular sword and active camouflage were not just products of advanced technology, they were symbols of humanity's relentless drive to improve and innovate. This drive had propelled them from primitive hunters to a spacefaring species. Humans have always had a dual nature. They are capable of great violence, as seen in the Scout's lethal efficiency, but they are also capable of profound compassion and empathy. This duality is reflected in their culture, where art, music, and literature coexist with warfare and conflict. It is this complexity that makes humans so unpredictable and so formidable. The Grayless, in their arrogance, had dismissed humans as primitive. They failed to see the depth of human culture, the rich tapestry of traditions, beliefs, and values that bind them together. The scout shared stories of human resilience, of how communities came together in times of crisis, and how their desire to protect and nurture one another made them strong. Another key element of human culture is their warrior class. Throughout history, humans have revered warriors, from ancient knights and samurai to modern soldiers and special forces. These warriors are not just trained in combat, they are instilled with a code of honor, discipline, and duty. The scout embodied these values, demonstrating not just skill, but also a profound sense of responsibility and purpose. As the humans rebuilt their settlement, they also strengthened their defenses. They knew the Grayless would return, but they were prepared. The scout emphasized the importance of learning from every encounter, of using each experience to become stronger and more resilient. This adaptability was another cornerstone of human success. The Grayless had learned a harsh lesson, but the humans had also gained valuable insights. They understood that their strength lay not just in their weapons, but in their unity, their adaptability, and their indomitable spirit. The scouts' actions had inspired a new sense of purpose and determination among the settlers. Despite the initial setback, the Grayless were not a species to accept defeat easily. Their pride had been wounded, and their leadership demanded retribution. As the humans rebuilt their settlement, a larger Grayless fleet assembled, prepared to launch a full-scale invasion. But this time, the humans were ready. The human scout and the elite soldiers had used the brief respite to fortify their defenses and train the settlers in basic combat and survival tactics. Advanced communication systems were set up to coordinate with other human colonies, ensuring that help would arrive swiftly if needed. When the Grayless fleet appeared on the horizon, it was a sight to behold. Massive warships, bristling with weaponry, darkened the skies. But the humans stood their ground, united and determined. This was not just a battle for survival, it was a battle for their home, their way of life. The first wave of Grayless attackers met fierce resistance. The scout led a team of elite soldiers, employing guerrilla tactics to disrupt and disorient the invaders. They used the terrain to their advantage, setting traps and ambushes that took a heavy toll on the Grayless forces. The settlers, now trained and armed, joined the fight, their resolve unshakable. As the battle intensified, the Grayless realized that brute force alone would not secure them a victory. They attempted to cut off human communications, targeting the relay stations that connected the settlement to the broader network of human colonies. But the humans had anticipated this move and had set up redundant systems to ensure they remained in contact. The turning point came when reinforcements arrived from neighboring human colonies. Fresh troops and supplies bolstered the defenders, and a coordinated counteroffensive was launched. The human fleet, though smaller, was agile and strategically superior. They engaged the Grayless warships in a series of hit-and-run attacks, exploiting weaknesses and outmaneuvering their larger adversaries. The battle raged for days, with neither side willing to concede. But gradually, the tide began to turn in favor of the humans. The Grayless, exhausted and demoralized, were pushed back. Their command structure, so reliant on rigid hierarchy, began to crumble under the relentless pressure of the human assault. In a bold move, the Scout led a strike team on a daring mission to board the Grayless flagship. Their objective was to disable the command center and force the Grayless to surrender. The operation was risky, but the Scout's team was highly skilled and determined. They infiltrated the ship, navigating its labyrinthine corridors with precision and stealth. Reaching the command center, they faced fierce resistance, but their training and resolve saw them through. The Scout, leading by example, engaged the Grayless commander in single combat. The duel was intense, with both combatants displaying incredible skill and determination. But in the end, it was the Scout who emerged victorious, disabling the command systems and effectively ending the Grayless threat. With their command structure in disarray and their flagship disabled, the remaining Grayless forces had no choice but to retreat. The humans had won, not just through superior tactics and technology, but through unity, adaptability, and sheer determination. The aftermath of the battle saw an unexpected development. The Grayless, now recognizing the strength and resilience of humanity, sought to open diplomatic channels. They proposed a ceasefire and a dialogue, hoping to avoid further conflict. The humans, always curious and eager to learn, accepted the offer. Negotiations were tense at first, but gradually, understanding began to grow between the two species. The Grayless learned to respect humanity's capabilities and resilience, while the humans gained valuable insights into Grayless culture and technology. Through dialogue and cooperation, a tentative peace was established. The Scout, once a lone defender, now became a symbol of this new era of cooperation. They continued to serve as a protector, but also as a diplomat, fostering mutual respect and understanding between the two species. The settlement, once scarred by war, became a beacon of hope and progress. The war was over, but the scars it left ran deep. The settlement, though rebuilding and thriving once more, bore the marks of conflict. The people, resilient as they were, carried the memories of loss and struggle. The Scout, now a hero and a diplomat, often found moments of quiet reflection amidst the duties of peacekeeping. As I recount these events, it's important to understand the dual nature of humanity. They are capable of great violence, as seen in the battlefield prowess of the Scout and the soldiers. But they are also capable of profound empathy, intellect, and emotional depth. This duality is what makes them both unpredictable and formidable. The Grayless, during their negotiations, were often taken aback by the complexity of human emotions. They had encountered species driven by conquest and survival, but humans were different. They fought fiercely, yet they also mourned deeply. They celebrated victories, but they never forgot the cost of those victories. The Scout embodied this complexity. As a warrior, they had shown unparalleled skill and courage. But as a leader and diplomat, they demonstrated wisdom and compassion. They worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between the humans and the Grayless, understanding that peace required as much effort as war, if not more. Humans have a rich cultural heritage, filled with stories, music, and art that reflect their varied experiences. The Grayless, who initially saw them as mere primitives, began to appreciate the depth and beauty of human culture. They learned about the history of human conflicts, but also about their triumphs in science, philosophy, and the arts. One poignant moment came during a cultural exchange, where the humans shared a piece of their music. A simple melody, yet it conveyed a range of emotions, from sorrow to hope, from despair to resilience. The Grayless, unfamiliar with such expressions, were deeply moved. It was a reminder that, despite their differences, there was a common thread of humanity that connected all sentient beings. As the days turned into months, the two species found ways to cooperate and learn from each other. Joint scientific ventures were established, and trade routes opened up, bringing prosperity to both sides. The settlement became a hub of activity, a place where humans and Grayless worked side by side, building a future together. Yet, even in this time of peace, the Scout remained vigilant. They knew that true peace required constant effort and understanding. They trained new generations of warriors, not just in combat, but in diplomacy and leadership. They shared their experiences, teaching others the importance of balance between strength and compassion. The Grayless, too, began to change. They adopted new ways of thinking, influenced by their interactions with humans. They learned to value cooperation over conquest, understanding that true strength lay not in domination, but in unity and mutual respect. This tale is one of transformation and unity. From the fires of conflict emerged a new era of understanding and cooperation between humans and the Grayless. The journey was arduous, filled with battles and diplomacy, loss and discovery. Yet, it was this journey that forged an unbreakable bond between two once hostile species. The Scout, whose bravery and leadership had been instrumental in both war and peace, continued to serve as a bridge between humans and the Grayless. Their legacy was not just one of combat prowess, but of wisdom and empathy. Through their efforts, a new generation of leaders and warriors was inspired to uphold these values. One of the most profound changes was in the way both species viewed each other. The Grayless, once dismissive and arrogant, now saw the humans as equals. They admired human resilience, creativity, and the ability to turn adversity into strength. Conversely, humans gained a deeper understanding of the Grayless, appreciating their own strengths and the value of cooperation. As the two species worked together, their combined efforts led to remarkable achievements. Advances in technology, medicine, and exploration flourished, benefiting both societies. The settlement, now a thriving hub of activity and innovation, became a symbol of what could be achieved through unity and shared purpose. The cultural exchanges continued to enrich both sides. Festivals, art exhibitions, and scientific symposiums were held, where humans and Grayless shared their knowledge and traditions. These events fostered a sense of community and mutual respect, further solidifying their bond. In these peaceful times, the lessons learned from the conflict were never forgotten. The Scout often reminded their fellow humans of the importance of vigilance and preparation, but also of the power of empathy and understanding. They taught that true strength lies not in domination, but in the ability to build bridges and find common ground. The Grayless, too, underwent a significant transformation. They adopted many human practices, valuing innovation and cooperation over conquest. This shift in perspective led to a more harmonious and prosperous society, one that valued the contributions of all its members. As the years passed, the story became a legend, a tale told to inspire future generations. It served as a reminder of the power of resilience, the importance of unity, and the possibility of redemption and growth. The Scout, now a revered figure in both human and Grayless history, was remembered not just for their heroic deeds, but for their role in forging a new path forward. And so, as we conclude this story, remember the lessons it holds. In every challenge, there is an opportunity for growth. In every conflict, there is a chance for understanding. And in every ending, there is the promise of a new beginning. In the end, it is not our differences that define us, but our ability to find common ground. Respect humanity, for they are a force to be reckoned with. And now, my young audience, I leave you with this assignment. Understand the implications of this story and remember the strength of the human spirit. If you enjoyed this story and crave more adventures from the Sci-Fi Story Vault, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. Dive into another epic saga, filled with thrilling encounters and breathtaking discoveries. Don't miss out on the next chapter in our galaxy of stories. See you there!